Good.
Yeah.
Welcome to 230 Dudes. I'm Antonio Harrison.
And I'm Charles Schuling.
And tonight we have an awesome podcast for you, the Villisca Axe Murder.
This is a great episode.
It came about because Charles remembered that we talked about it in our first Halloween episode, 15 months ago?
Something like that, yeah.
So
we decided to dig a little bit deeper, and I think it's one of our better podcasts we've got for you tonight. So we're really excited about this one. And in honor of that, we thought we'd talk about a couple other axe stories.
Axe-wielding
dudes.
I'll go first.
All right.
I think mine's a little less historical.
Okay. Less factual.
Yes. Paul Bunyan.
Yeah, Paul Bunyan.
Did you know about Paul Bunyan?
I know a little bit about Paul
Bunyan. I think that was before our generation.
Oh, it was like 50 years,
or
maybe 100 years before our generation.
So Paul Bunyan was born to a couple, and the baby was so big that 5 storks had to deliver it to the house.
Whoa, that's a lot of storks.
Quickly, Paul Bunyan was huge, growing, and shortly after being delivered, I guess, was eating 50 eggs and 10 containers of potatoes every day.
I wonder how many potatoes are in a container.
In a container, right? I was like, I think I would have loaded up more on the eggs. But he got so big that every time he moved in his bed, it would cause an earthquake. Oh. So the neighbors got pissed off. The parents didn't know really what to do, so they sent him out into the woods with an axe, which had to have been the biggest fucking axe you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Now, it's said that Paul Bunyan was able to chop down an entire forest with one swing of his axe. And while he was out there one day on a really snowy day, it was so cold that the snow was blue.
Okay.
He found an ox, a baby ox stuck.
Was it blue?
And it was
This
blue.
is like the only thing I know about Paul Bunyan.
It was blue, right? Because of the snow. For whatever reason, when the snow melted, the color stuck to the ox.
I didn't know that there was a backstory. I just thought it was a random blue ox. It's a large ox, though, right?
Well, it starts off as a baby.
Okay.
And then it gets, becomes part of his clan.
Okay.
He's a lumberjack. He's got buddies. There's all sorts of shit to this Paul Bunyan myth. But with respect to the axe, his biggest claim to fame on his axe is that he is responsible for clearing all of the trees from North and South Dakota.
Wow. Well, good for him.
Which is why it's such flat land.
There's no trees in North and South Dakota.
I feel like there's a lot of trees up there.
There's some, but they've been planted in the last 100 years.
Okay. After
he cleared the land.
Yes, after he cleared the land. But no one knows what happened to him. Some say he's still alive and goes in and out of the forest so that you can never find him in one spot.
Oh, like a Sasquatch.
That's exactly what I thought of. So Paul Bunyan is actually the Sasquatch.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, he had a big beard back then. Now he's just covered in hair.
Yeah.
He's like Cousin It.
Well, evolution, right? If he's out there amongst the weather and the...
his body is adapting.
Yeah, it's adapting. Paul Bunyan just became Sasquatch.
That makes sense.
All right.
That makes sense. So, as much sense as that can make. So, my axe story is about our first president, George Washington.
Okay.
George Washington, he's a boy, and he was given a hatchet, as boys are.
Kind of like is the whole story of the rifle, what's the Christmas story?
Yeah, Christmas story.
I wonder if that's loosely based off of George Washington.
I don't know. But I think that kid lies.
Yes.
So George Washington's given a hatchet, and first he's outside just playing. He's like chopping some of his mom's flowers and pea plants and things like that. And
already fucking up.
He's he's a kid and he's got a hatchet.
He's got a hatchet.
And then he sees his dad's prized cherry tree. And he thinks, well, maybe I could do something with that. And he chops down the cherry tree.
I did not know the cherry tree was a blow to his father's livelihood.
Yeah, it was. Well, I don't know if it was livelihood or just like his hobby, but it was a prized.
Which is still probably his livelihood at the time.
A prized cherry tree. And he chops it down. His dad sees it later. He comes into the house. He's all mad and worked up. And he's like, "Did you chop down my cherry tree?" And George Washington says, "Father, I cannot tell a lie. I did chop down your cherry tree." And then he goes outside and he finds this baby ox in the snow. No.
I was so into it. How old? Okay, how old was George Washington?
I don't know, like 6 or 7.
Okay.
Everything there was the real story up until where he says, I cannot tell a lie, I did chop down your tree. That part's real. So it's like George Washington, he was honest even at a young age.
Right.
There's no ox.
I got that part.
And so that's the story.
Okay.
That's the story. And it was like, it's this national story that they tell in school. That some,
I don't remember that in school.
I remember learning it. I don't know. But it's just kind of this story.
Okay.
Right? And as it turns out, it is just as fictional as Paul Bunyan.
Really?
Yeah, so
there might have been an ox by the cherry tree?
No, there might have been, yeah.
All right.
So George Washington dies in 1799.
Okay.
And the next year, in the year 1800...
Is that how you would say it?
1800?
1800?
I think so.
Yeah?
Okay. What would you say?
Yeah. 1800. Yeah.
So...
Well, because, 1799.
Yeah.
18.
Oh, 18. Or just like
18.
18s. Yeah.
So, class of 18. That still doesn't work, right?
No. The class of 18.
Yeah.
This book comes out, and it's written by a guy who lived nearby Washington, in Mount Vernon, which is where George Washington lived. A guy named Mason Locke Weems.
That's quite a name.
Yeah, and
Okay.
as best as I could discover, he was known as a preacher / fiddler / author.
That doesn't sound like such a bad life.
Not bad, yeah.
Yeah, play music, speak some truth, and or speak the word.
Speak the word and write some books.
Write some books.
Now, it also sounded like, in most sources I found, he's also kind of like the town kook. But he wrote a book on Washington. It came out in 1800, so a year after Washington's death. That was the first edition of the book. It did not include a story about a cherry tree.
Really?
Yeah. And then every year for about the next 9 years, he came out with a revised edition with more and more anecdotes and stories.
Yeah, sell a little more product.
Selling product, and he's selling this nationwide. This book's taken off. In the 1806 edition is the first version that has the cherry tree story. Basically, it is assumed that he just kind of pulled it out his ass.
Yeah.
Just made up a story. But he sold a lot of books, and it became a known story throughout the country.
That you teach in history class.
That you teach in history class
Why do you
about...
think they gravitated to that so much? Because I cannot tell a lie?
Yeah, I think it's like, there's a little bit of a message here.
Yeah.
Like, be honest, and you can be president.
I wonder if that was the author's intention. Or if he was just trying to sell more
I think he
books.
was just trying to sell more books. But what's interesting is that in our day and age, you can't become president by being honest. And
So,
there you have it. That's two different axe stories. And to get you amped up for tonight's great axe story, all about the Villisca axe murders, which
Yes.
is crazy and really interesting.
Tonight, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 230dudes.com on iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher. Catch it wherever you can, in the car, at the house, at work.
While you're doing dishes.
Yeah.
Lyle.
Thanks
for watching. So, George Washington dies in 1977.
Okay.
So George Washington... 1977.
Motherfucker was old.
This is only 7 years before I was born. George Washington died. He was an amazing president. What most people don't know about him is he was only 3 when he was the president.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh,
Okay.
shit.
All right.
I was like, yeah, okay, right. No, wait. The fucked up part was I looked to the board for confirmation.
I'm glad you did, because I was just like, that just doesn't sound right. It took me a minute to get to the fact that
I was like,
said
1977, he had a year after that. That's not it.
Oh man, now I have to finish this thing. Okay. Fuck.
Excuse us, we went on a tirade for a minute.
It happens. Okay. Good?
I think so.
Okay.
So then he dies. In 1877.
1799. Okay.
Okay. All right. All right.
Like 1 more minute. Just get through 1 more minute.
All right, let's do it.
So George Washington dies in 19... Nope. Fuck. 1799. I'm not going to look at you for a minute.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't. Oh my god. That's fucking crazy. Okay. All right, I'm good.
Okay.